whiny little... Does biatches count? Because technically it's not swearing, because biatch is not really the word. I'm going to have to check on that one. I'll get back to you on whether biatch is acceptable. You know the answer? Tweet me or comment in the comments below. Comment. You want to talk about whiny little privileged brats who are absolutely driving me nuts? Yeah, you guessed it. Colin Kaepernick. Are you freaking kidding me? First of all, wants to preach and lecture about white privilege. First of all, number one, his mom's white, so he is half white. But she, for whatever reason, and I don't know, for whatever reason, she couldn't care for him. She couldn't keep him. She gave him up for adoption. And he was graciously accepted and adopted by none other, wait for it, than a white family. A wealthy white family at that. Nice big house, gave him everything he could want. That kid wanted for nothing growing up. That family loved him, and they supported him. You know, through everything. Took him to his football practices. Went to his games. Paid for all his crap that he needed to play this game. Now, let's take that on the flip side. How many black football players, NFL players, we're going to be specific, black NFL players that are playing right now, came from nothing. Came from broken houses. Didn't live in a big old nice house. Okay? Came from a broken home. Had to fight off the gangs. Had to fight against the criminal element, trying to suck them into their lives. Okay? Came from nothing. Worked their butts off through school. Played hard in football. Worked a lot harder than Colin Kaepernick had to do to get where he is. But you have players, not even, again, that goes right back to the whole white privilege thing. It's not even just black players who came from nothing, who had to work up to where they are now. There's plenty of white players who came from, brace yourselves. I know, it's insane. I know what you're thinking. Lindsay, you're telling me that there are white people in this country? Not all white people have big houses and lots of money? No, they don't. Colin Kaepernick makes $19 million a year. Lives in a big-ass mansion, drives super nice, expensive cars. And he wants to preach about white privilege? Screw you, Mr. Kaepernick. Screw you. I'm white. My husband's white. Our 3 kids are white. That is 5 people in my family. My husband makes anywhere between $50,000 and $55,000 a year. You make $19 million. You're part black, but you're also part white. But, you know, you're fighting for the black side of you that is so oppressed that you, when you're with your $19 million a year in your big ass mansion. Again, I say screw you. White family. Oh, did I mention that my husband is a war vet? Oh, he didn't? No, he served in the United States Air Force. And he served 3 tours defending this country, defending the rights and the freedom of this country. So, POSs like Mr. Kaepernick can have the right, the privilege of playing in the NFL for the United States of America, that my husband fought for, put his life on the line for. And we live in a one-story, 960 square foot house with 5 people. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 5 people. So preach to me again about white privilege, Mr. Kaepernick. I mean, how does this work? Mr. Kaepernick is so worried about making it known that he's standing for police brutality. Well, guess what? They're being brutal because the criminals are trying to kill them. They're not just going around, walking around going, oh my God, black person, boom, boom, boom. No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, here's a fun little statistic for you. Did you know that more white men were killed by the police, or shot and killed by the police last year, than black men and Mexican combined? Did you know that one, Mr. Kaepernick? You didn't? Oh, and by the way, I don't understand with your whole, well, I'm going to sit and I'm going to kneel and I'm not putting my hand on my heart because I'm fighting black oppression by disrespecting our nation's flag, our nation's anthem, and our nation's military men and women. What does that have to do with your black oppression or anti-black oppression stance? Don't really get it. Because the flag does not represent black oppression. It actually represents the freedom that we have now. Did you know we used to have a couple different flags for the country? Oh, and well, while one is historical, even if you don't like it, it's still historical. That one's not our nation's flag, and that one did promote slavery, and it did promote oppression. But that one's not our nation's flag. The one that represents freedom for everybody, that's the one that is our nation's flag. That's the one that is still flown today. Oh, and this anthem that you're so against, you know, the one that is sung to honor our flag and our military men and women? Yeah, that national anthem was written to honor a black soldier. Did you know that one, Mr. Kaepernick? And all you other POSs in any freaking sport that decides you want to sit and not honor the anthem and the flag. How about you guys do your research? You read some history, and maybe you educate yourself and you learn a little something. I understand you've been knocked around in the heads. I get that you've had concussions, so, you know, you're getting a little slow. But how about before you stand for something, before you make yourself look like a complete freaking idiot in front of the entire country, you at least know what you're standing against. And make sure that it makes sense in comparison to what you're standing for. Personally, I think him and Hillary Clinton can walk skipping hand in hand, side by side, and take a very long walk off a very short pier. Straight into a shark-infested ocean that's swirling around. Yeah, whirlpool. Shark-infested whirlpool. And when it sucks them down, it just drops them straight into the pits of hell.